the Stros didn't win the division? I guess we'll never know.
Welcome back to Beyond the Diamond, the AL West champion episode.
It was always the Astros.
It was always the Astros.
It was always the Astros.
It was always the Astros. This episode is brought to you by Big City Wings. Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, Apollo's wing joint. We were out there yesterday watching the games, a little double feature action, Texans and Astros. Had some fried Oreos, some new secret menu.
Dill pickle cheese curds.
Ooh,
Yeah, they're fire.
Fire.
Yeah. And I had 4 big beers.
He had 4 big beers.
You had 4 of those?
I had
Yeah,
12.
I was there.
I had like 12 beers yesterday, essentially.
That's like 400 fluid ounces of beer.
It's like fucking
And you
3,000.
can only get that at Houston's Wing Joint and Apollo's Wing Joint.
Yep.
Big City Wings. Episode is also brought to you by Celebrity Mint. Celebrity Mint, they're going live at Comic-Con October 14th in New York City. Kenny Duncan and Matthew Duncan Jr. are going to be disruptors in New York, just like the Houston Astros have been over the last few seasons, even though the Yankees are now not in the playoffs. They are doing a drop with eBay Live. Ric Flair is going to be game-changing. I may be out there. I'll be filming it, showing it to all the Apollo game. Pumped for that. And the new sponsor. Where's that?
There we go.
They're back.
Yummy.
back.
Zing Zang is so
Zang.
dang back. Zing Zang was with us at the jump. A little hiatus. Now they're back. They're Bloody Mary mix.
Blazing.
Blazing.
Yes.
Made with vodka already. So this is ready to pour. Do you want some?
No.
9%.
No.
You want for the morning?
I would love to. I was told no, though, originally.
Yeah, that was a test.
It was a test. You passed. So shout out to our sponsors. But boys, we have Garrett. We have Josh. Noah behind the cameras.
He's gone now.
It was always the Astros.
It was always
It's always the Astros. It's insane how we went from a week ago, like, fucking not making the playoffs. This sucks. To, we have a bye. We won their division.
We're the second seed.
Oh, it was one day too. It was just one day. All these things happened. The one scenario we wanted to happen, and it happened. The one scenario we needed, honestly.
Crazy. I mean, what are the odds? I mean, well,
You have the odds.
They were low.
Let's
2-20.
let's jump into it. There's a gentleman on Twitter.
Yeah. Shout out at Austin Corey. You probably saw his graphs he was making throughout the weekend, kind of breaking down. He did it before the Rangers and Seattle played their 4-game series, and the Astros had their 3-game series against the Diamondbacks. There were 20 scenarios where the Astros, or 20 scenarios that could happen in those 2 series. 15 of them meant the Astros made the playoffs. 5 meant they didn't. 2 could end with the Astros winning the division, and one of those 2 happened, which is just crazy.
I mean, how it's a fairy tale ending to a fucking bumpy season. I say bumpy like it's not our usual season. You know, we won 16 more games last year.
But going into the season, you know, spring training pods, we all expected the Astros to win the division.
Yep. I expect
I mean, 100 wins or 90 wins, the same result happened. They won their division, got the seed. The only difference is they got the 2nd seed instead of 1st seed, which is actually better because now they play the winner of Blue Jays or the Twins rather than the Rays or the Rangers. So,
Yeah,
this is, I mean,
it's an ideal scenario all around.
It's very funny because all we did all season, collectively, not just attacking any individuals, I was guilty of it, was the pissing of the pants.
The shitting of the britches.
I mean,
the kicking and screaming.
yeah.
And the end result is the same result of the previous seasons.
Yep.
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't what we expected. But I think it speaks volumes about the resiliency of this team. I said it, I think 2 or 3 months ago on an episode where this team easily could have folded it in.
Yeah.
Easily. They had just won. Like, all right, it's not our year. All these injuries.
I mean, it felt like an easy sweep against the Diamondbacks. That wasn't easy at all.
And
like,
they
that
were
should
playing
not
for
have
their
been-
lives.
Yeah, they were playing for their I mean, luckily that last game they were already locked in, so it was easier. But I mean, still, like, with how if I would have told you right after the Royals swept the Astros at home, they're gonna go take 2 or 3 from Seattle and then sweep the Diamondbacks. He'd be like, "What? No way."
I'd be like, well, the way we're playing, no way,
Yeah, no
Jose.
way.
Fucking, we suck, but
I mean,
we
but
don't suck.
That's just kind of how the season went. I mean, they also swept the Braves and the Rays this year. They beat up the Orioles in Baltimore. Like they just kind of did those things throughout the season.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of poetic, right? That we talked about game 163 and how much we missed it. We'd be playing the game 163 right now.
I am so glad we're not stressing over
how stressful would that be?
That
right
would
now?
be terrible.
I would not be able to talk right now.
Yeah.
I would be just sitting at my desk, like staring into space.
That would be fucked up. Getting ready to play for our lives tonight. Throw everything we have.
Game 163.
Ugh.
I think the other side too is this past week. I think Josh and Garrett as well. You guys said if we didn't win that first game against Seattle, the season was done.
Yep. JV saved it all.
I agree. Yeah.
And then to take 2 of 3 and then know what you had to do. All right, let's control what we can control and let's go sweep.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, the Mariners win. Friday, the Mariners win.
Astros
and then all of a sudden, reality was like, okay, you're in it.
When the Rangers beat them pretty bad, I was like, what was that, Saturday?
Yeah,
Saturday
I was
night.
like, well, I wanted to win the division, but I guess not, Can't.
Yeah, it was always not just punch your ticket to get in, and chip in the chair scenario. Okay, if we have to go to Minnesota or to Tampa Bay, so be it. Obviously, that's not very optimal, but your Urquidy pitching the way he did.
Holy shit.
So clutch.
Holy shit.
On a spot start, JP France gets scratched. They have a family emergency. He's been in the bullpen. Hasn't really been. He's only been kind of a mop-up duty.
Yeah, he hadn't thrown more than like 60 pitches in a game in like a month and a half.
And then throws looks like World Series Urquidy. Like he legitimately was.
That's a beauty behind Urquidy, man. Is like obviously he's gonna have some rough starts. That's what happens sometimes. But when he needs to turn it on, when it's not, it's like now or never, man. If it's now or never, it's always now for him. It's always like right now.
Our whole pitching staff.
That's wise words from the mechanic right there.
Yeah, mechanic.
It's always now for him.
Kind of our whole pitching staff is like any one of them. I fully expect can go out there and give you 6 or 7 shutout innings, but also any one of them. Like, I don't know if I fully trust any one of them. So that's why I'm, like, confident going into this postseason because I'm like, they could. I trust our coaching staff and our pitching staff to know how to game plan and figure that out and not implode. But also, that could just happen at any moment.
Yeah, baseball could happen.
Yeah.
But I also think, which is huge, by getting the 2 seed and winning the division and getting the bye, obviously – we could touch on setting the rotation, but it allows the guys 5 days off.
They need
because if you think about it, you put in so much energy to get to the finish line.
Yeah,
and then you had to turn around and play a wild card series. And if it's the Rays who've been clinched since like August, or Minnesota's been clinched since early September, like that could be a letdown spot. That could be like, oh wow, and then you sleepwalk into a game, and then all of a sudden you're down 1-0 in the series. Yeah. You got to take the next 2. So it allows them to not get out of that 3-game set, but it allows them to come home and sleep in their own bed.
Full reset.
This is so crazy how important this is. Chas McCormick, he probably has a welt still the size of Virginia on his back.
Yep.
Jose Abreu. He's old. He's limping around a little bit. Brantley's still like he's still recovering. JV's a little older. He's been throwing big innings recently. There's so many guys that this little stretch of rest is going to be so important.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Huge.
Absolutely. Javier gets some of this. If he gets enough rest, he could be a Game 3 starter if you need him to. Something like that.
I think he is your Game 3 starter.
I mean, after yesterday, yeah.
I think so, too. I think there's really no way. We'll talk about this on the preview, but there's no way you can go wrong, really, because
him or JP.
I mean, yeah, you have JP, you have Urquidy. I mean, after that start, I wouldn't mind throwing him.
Now you're gonna have since we don't have 6 all-star pitchers or anything like that, we just gotta have to all right, your first 2, your 1A, 1B guys. Yeah. Then after that, science the Matt Damon, the Martian, science the shit out of this.
The shit out.
We just gotta figure it out. Hunter Brown maybe comes in, your Keedy starts a game, pitches 3 innings, and then like someone comes in and has mop up duty, like you said. Like they're gonna have to get really creative.
Well, I mean, it's the luxury of depth. Like we've said many times. You bring a guy in, you start whatever pitcher it is. If they're struggling in the second, you have the luxury to bring in another starter in the third inning that can give you 5 or 6 innings.
Absolutely.
I want to go back to the series, but I want to give some roses to our guy right now, Alex Bregman. This was a tweet I saw today from Lockmeyer. Alex Bregman has missed only 8 games in the last 2 years.
That's insane.
You went from we had MVP Breggy to a lot of little injuries, and honestly, it's been great to see that. We've been very fortunate to hang around with him and be with him. I know he got the secret sauce of the new chef, and really changed everything on the back end to get rid of these soft tissue injuries that was kind of piling up.
Yeah,
and once those start piling up on a player, it's tough to kind of shake that because your body's just used to that. And so I saw that tweet today, and I was like, holy shit. And I looked it up. I was like, damn. And he's only quietly put up another solid
amazing
season.
He's put up a great season. People act disappointed because it's not 40 home runs like 2019. But I will take my third baseman with 25 bombs and almost 100 RBIs
and
every season,
and having the glove that he has,
yeah,
and
with
also
that
just
defense.
his presence to be able to play every game.
Yes,
it's huge.
He's penciled in every single
with
day,
like a 400 on base percentage.
He only ended with an 804 OPS, and OPS plus of 122.
Yeah,
and so 4.9 WAR on B reference. I don't know what his F WAR was. I think it was probably like 4.5.
I mean, that's an elite. Third baseman season. That's a by far. I mean, easily a top 5.
Yes,
absolutely.
Third baseman
in the league
in baseball. Yeah,
absolutely.
I just want to give his roses because I saw that tweet earlier. The other side, the hobby thing. Framber is going to be your game 1 starter.
Probably.
And I say that because Jalen Roman, his athletic article, kind of left the door open for JV being the starter, but Steve Sparks on 790 today with our dog B Lima, who's on the IL but should be off. Sweet Green Health Report should hopefully be off soon.
Yes, sir.
Him and Sean Salisbury were talking to Sparky, and he was like, I would roll out Framber game 1 because Framber, if you need a game 5 starter, he's probably easier to bounce back.
Exactly.
And I like that.
He's younger and yeah.
But he pitched his tail off.
I will say this: in a 7-gamer, I put JV first.
Correct.
Because he gives him extra time, and then he could bounce back for game 7.
And I think the momentum too, right? So Saturday when JV started, it was a must win.
Yes.
Because at that point, the Seattle had got back on your ass, but you also had the Rangers fall back down to you. It's just kind of like this
weird.
Murphy's Law thing. And you're trotting out Justin Verlander in another must win. And I was like, damn, he just had a great must-win game in Seattle now. Like, how's he going to be able to do that? And he just dealt. He literally just did his thing.
It wasn't as pretty as Monday.
It wasn't pretty.
It wasn't pretty as Monday, but he still came in, still got out of some sticky situations, limited. I mean, he didn't allow a single run. That's as good as you can get in a must-win right there.
He looked like he looked in the World Series last year, that 1 start.
Yep.
He didn't have his best stuff, but he grinded. He got through, what he threw 6 innings?
I believe so.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take that.
And I think what makes Justin Verlander so great is when he doesn't have his A-plus stuff or his new now A-plus stuff. We're not going to see, the 2019 Justin Verlander. We're going to see a different version of Justin Verlander, but it's still very capable of being a high-end.
He still finished the season with like a 3.2 ERA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's best,
12, 13 wins, something like that.
Yeah.
But it seems when the lights are the brightest and the moment you need him to come through, he does it. And yes, the bugaboo of the World Series wins and all that, he got that off his back. But for the longest time, Justin Verlander was not known to be like that big of a game pitcher when he was in Detroit. But everything changed when he came to Houston, and that's all we've known in the Justin Verlander Houston Astro era is when
LCS MVP.
Yeah, like you just like, hey, that's who we want on the mound. That if we would have lost that game, I'd be like, Hell, we lost with our best guy
Yeah.
on the mound. And so to see that happen on Saturday, which was a double clincher, we got our spot. Arizona got their spot due to all the other teams losing, so they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
But the toast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. There was something afoot. I was like, we got in. There was something afoot when I saw us have a toast with champagne,
Just
like men,
Like
and
men.
then there were boys celebrating. I won't say who.
no. I
It
mean,
just-
I think
It was
we
quite the contrast.
I think we should talk
Quite.
about this. Acting like you've been there before.
It's a real thing. It's a
I
real
don't know
fucking
who made the decision, but whoever it was, thank you. Very smart. The Rangers decided after
Pop bottles.
clinching the postseason berth, even though the next day they had to go out
And win.
and win to win it. All they had to do was win. It didn't even matter what we did. All they had to do was win to win their division, and they decided to party. They party.
They rolled
party.
out.
Yeah,
They
they
rolled
were.
out with a hangover lineup.
It wasn't like a little bit of a subdued, still showers, but subdued.
Yeah.
No, they
No,
were
they
they
went.
were going in, and the Astros doing what the Astros do, being smart.
Looked like Jay Gatsby.
Dude, it
Yeah.
looked
Looked like
like
Jay
it
Gatsby,
looked the
baby.
wide angle of everyone in the room holding up, and then Maldi in the middle, like fucking like Gatsby. Hilarious picture.
And if you
It's
just
classy.
like then cut to where the Rangers were doing, it was like Babylon.
yeah,
It was just-
it was
this-
someone said like old money versus new money or something like that.
Yeah, Cocky did.
Yeah.
Cocky did. That was a great tweet.
Did they have stuff on the walls? Did Arizona like wrap our clubhouse?
No.
Thinking that okay, so
No.
somebody told them ahead of
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
So they made that decision early.
yeah.
Smart.
I mean,
Look.
that was a super smart decision, man.
Yeah.
Look, there was still unfinished business,
Mhm.
and I always celebrate your wins.
Yeah.
We do it here when we win as a company. We celebrate our wins. When someone in the company has a big win, we celebrate them. But when there's one game left,
When there's still work to be done.
there's still work to be done. You do it, and I think it's a testament to the team knowing that, like, hey, we're gonna go out there. And granted, they were playing against a hangover lineup. Who cares? It's still game 162.
Yeah, still-
There's a winner and a loser,
still gotta score more runs than the other team.
and base hit, 2-run bomb by Briggs, just like that.
Just
Boom,
off the
up,
bat. Yeah.
off the bat.
Statement.
And I was like, they're gonna win. They're gonna win the division.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a testament to the culture of the organization, of the clubhouse, of the coaching staff, of the players. New faces could come in, old faces leave. The end results are still the same.
Mhm.
And the only other difference too is we don't hang our AL West pennants in the rafters. We put them up in section 400.
Yeah.
There's bigger prizes, and there's more. Their eyes are on the prize for bigger things, and
Yeah.
they happen to be gold.
Yeah.
Once you've won it, nothing else
No.
is the same.
This-
I mean, because my whole life growing up, I had an NLCS ring or whatever, replica ring, and I'd celebrate 1997, 98, 99, like division champs. Hell yeah.
If that's the only thing you know, then
Yeah.
hell yeah.
But once you've had a taste for that golden trophy, oh my god.
Doesn't
I
matter.
don't want anything else.
I mean, so excited we won because actually, all year long I was like, I don't know, fucking literally like the last 2 innings of our game, I was like, oh, we just won the division. Cool. Hell yeah.
At the minimum, it's just good. It's a
No,
good
yeah, I
floor,
mean,
good
it's-
bragging right,
Oh,
whatever.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
But I still want the.
Well,
hey, we still
trophy.
got to go 1-0 every day.
Yeah.
Want to know every day. I also think ultra competitors, when you've won and you won at this level the Astros have done, obviously it's hard to sustain it, but you have to find new ways to get a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the one big chip with everything that happened in 2017 and the fallout and all the hate. Like, obviously, the Astros really tap into that. But I think down this stretch, and I think you saw it from the players' reactions, I think they heard the outside noise. I think they heard the chirps.
Yeah.
And
Well,
to
they-
be like, hey, fuck you, we still got it. We're still the best. Because even our worst year of this golden age in the regular season is better than the rest of the other
Yeah.
teams in the division
Still
that on their
wild.
best years.
The number 2 seed in the AL.
yeah.
I mean,
Wild.
that's what happened.
Spending $500 million, getting in our faces and throwing at us and stuff. It didn't change anything.
No.
It's wild. Even when we had a bunch of injuries all year long, it didn't change anything.
Nope.
And now we'll shift and we'll cover the rest of the week. We'll have a season recap or get more in depth throughout the season, and then the preview for the ALDS. But you're 11 wins away from doing something that hasn't been done since the 90s.
Yep.
And I
And
think
becoming a dynasty.
I think you're ready are a dynasty, but this cements. This is capital letters.
I mean, we're a dynasty in Houston fans' eyes for sure. Just like this is the golden era, this is our dynasty, this is everything. But for the rest of the world, who already hate Houston, they're not going to acknowledge us as a dynasty until we win back to back, at least.
Yes. And you're also kind of, I'm just absurd saying this a lot. You're peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because you just bear down and won 5 of 6 in 2 playoff atmospheres on the road.
Mm-hmm.
You control your own destiny and you set your rotation, and you're 11 wins away.
Yeah.
From doing something special. And I think at the end of the day, this team knows, and I sound like a broken record, and I hate saying it again. There's not a moment in October that they haven't seen.
No.
Like, these guys have played
They've seen it all.
hundreds.
If they go to the World Series
hundreds of innings
again this
October.
year, Bregman, Altuve, and Verlander at least are going to set records for like most postseason. They're going to be like getting into a stratosphere of most postseason games and innings played, like a top 10
ever.
Yeah.
I like where we're at right now because we've been kind of down bad.
Yeah,
as in like just we couldn't get anything rolling. Nothing was coming our way. Just very unlucky season all around. And it's hard to be encouraged and feed off of that and do better when you're just constantly getting shit on by the baseball gods. And
came back around.
Having this weekend go our way, going full go, sweeping when we need to sweep, not celebrating when we like could celebrate. Just like, no, we have unfinished business. Like you said, bearing down, winning, sweeping this season or sweeping the Diamondbacks this weekend and just getting in. We have a brand new team maybe right now. We have a brand new team with rest.
It's a whole new season.
It's a whole new season. New season.
And we happen to be kind of one of the best at this kind of type of season.
Yeah.
And the roster is the same roster that won the World Series last year, give or take a few good additions and then, missing a couple pieces. But overall, this team is the same team that won the World Series last year and I believe has the same talent to win it again.
100%.
Brand new season.
We have to give away our dog of the month because we're now in October. So we're going to jump into that.
We'll do that on the season recap.
Okay. We're going
to do it on the season recap.
I do want to do trust circle moment. And everyone in the comments too, let us know when I ask the question to the guys, I want to know where you were too. When were you most down bad? Like when was the moment where you're like, shit, this is trust. No one's watching. It's just us talking
no one's watching.
No one's watching.
I think after the Royals sweep, I think after that we had 2 good series. We were going to play 2 good teams in a row. After the Royals, we looked cooked. We looked not focused. We looked unmotivated. We just looked so cooked. We just looked like we were ready to pack it in. Just kind of say, get ready for next year. I fully was like I was fully expecting us to maybe eke in and 6th seed, but missed completely. I will say that fully. I was like, man, just not our year right now. Just not. We're not having that. We don't have the heat on our side. Just chalk it up to one of those years, man.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's got to be the answer. Is after the World Series, you're down by 3 in the division with 4 games left to play.
Yeah,
like that's
insane.
With only 3 games left to play for you and 4 games for the Rangers, I was just like, that's impossible. And then in my head, I'm like, I just don't think I can't speak enough about how much this rest is so important to them.
Oh yeah.
I think if we had the wild card, I think we could win a wild card series, but I think the grind of having to fly to another city, win a wild card there,
go to the road on the DS,
and then go to the road on the DS and not have as much rest and then your rotation is fucked. Like, I think if they were in the wild card, I was fully expecting us to have an ALDS exit. So that's where I was really down bad. now that we won the division, I'm like, World Series is on.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
all this rest. I know, like you said, everyone's been like not a moment they haven't seen. Like, what do you have to say that would make me think that we're not going to make the World Series? You probably can't convince me that we're not going to make the World Series right now.
Yeah.
At
Well,
least
I
the
think
ALCS.
I think everyone else in the American League is like shit.
They're like, the fucking boogeyman, the boogeyman are
the
here.
American League runs through Houston. It does, and it will continue to do that. I think my down bad moment was the Royal Series.
Yeah, that was-
The first time I felt something, I was like, was that probably that walk off that Presley gave up, or not the walk off, the go ahead homer in the ninth, at home to start that homestand.
Yeah.
I was like, shit.
That was
I was
rough.
like, I felt like if we got that one, like we get that one, we could just hang,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden this snowballs, and now you're like chasing games in division, and you're starting doing math. Everyone knows I'm not a math guy, and I was like, fuck. The Royal Series, I was like, well,
When we lost 3 games, we got swept by a margin of 4 runs.
Yeah.
the whole series.
yeah.
It just seems
it,
like
it felt like death by 1,000 paper cuts.
yeah. It just felt like
I just felt it
building like things
wasn't
would
gonna
build.
happen.
Like blooper single, walk, double. Like it just like we could not get anything rolling our way in that series. And
Thank
that's,
God we're not playing the Royals in the
fuck,
playoffs.
man. I mean,
Or
dude,
Oakland,
dude, they were
Jesus.
good. Like Bobby Witt was killing us, man.
yeah,
I mean,
I don't want to see Bobby Witt. in
I
the
think
playoffs.
Bobby Witt, I think he was close to 30-30. He got like 75% against the Astros the last 2 weeks.
yeah, dude,
Mhm.
It was
he was going nuts against us.
Also-
I fully thought we were gonna miss after that.
Speaking of that, official score in Arizona. Hey, fuck you.
Fuck you, man.
What the fuck? You get snip,
Snip,
snap,
snap,
snip,
snap, snip, snap.
You have no idea the toll of taking away
A
Tucker's
30-30
30 season has
Just
on a
doing it
man.
to be mean, kind of.
Yeah.
I think just doing it to be a
Yeah, what the?
just to
If
be
you're
a
gonna
bully.
if you're gonna make a decision, make a decision.
How
But
is there a
switching
fielder's
it-
choice when no one is on base?
Yeah,
And also, I mean, just it doesn't matter. It didn't fucking matter. It wouldn't like, oh, well, if it wasn't a home run, they would have. No, we smoked them. Doesn't
Hey,
matter.
yeah.
Also, Astros, I know you're watching. Don't take Tucker to arbitration and then don't tell him he wasn't a 30 for 30 guy because I
Oh
know
my
that's what's going to
God.
happen.
Oh my
I know
God.
that's what's going to happen.
They're
It's going to
gonna-
piss me off.
They're gonna be like, oh, you didn't reach 30 home
You didn't-
runs.
Yep. That's what's going to do not do that.
Don't,
settle
Don't
before
be
arbitration.
slimy. Don't be
I don't
sweezily and
think.
slimy.
I think Dana knows what he's doing with extensions and with
I hope so. Yes,
player relations.
Yes.
With how the Braves have done it. So I don't think they're gonna do that kind of shit. We'll see.
I'll end with this. This was from Dana Brown on our good friend Brian Lehman, Sean Salisbury show, Sports Talk 790. September 20th,
Yeah.
Dana Brown says to the Astros fan base, "Fear not, the bats are here. Pitching is good enough. We're gonna win the division."
He knew.
What does Dana Brown know?
What
He,
I mean,
he is.
What does Dana Brown know?
Dana Brown needs to go to Vegas because
Dude, I'll go to Vegas with him.
I don't even think it was
He
luck.
talked that talk for Dana Brown. I think he talked that talk, and that was good for him. I'm glad he said it, but just there were plenty of people, and there's plenty of ways that could
Dude,
have gone against him.
this comment section is outrageous.
Yeah.
Is he in an alternate universe? If Dana Brown couldn't see the problems here and generally thinks that he should be fired immediately. Pitching is pathetic. What team is he watching?
Yeah. Well, 'cause the thing is, he's not wrong. The pitching is good enough. The offense is great. Like the roster we have is great. The roster we have should have won 100 games this season.
Yeah.
They
There's-
underperformed in certain moments. When the pitching was great, the hitting wasn't. When the hitting was great, the pitching wasn't. It's just one of those baseball seasons. So he's not wrong. Like if he was saying that and then it wasn't making the moves that I would want him to make, and our roster was shit, and he was like, "Oh, we're good enough," then I'd be like, "All right." I'd be
Yeah.
mad like those people. But
He's
being a
selling them
baseball
final
knower,
game
dude,
being a ball knower, I know that our pitching is good enough. Our pitching, like Javier is gonna find it. Hunter Brown's gonna find it. Like it's
100%.
gonna be okay.
You just got to think that if Dana Brown had some people talk to him after that, like, hey, bud, pretty bold of you to say, huh, bud? After that, he's got to have just the biggest shit-eating
Oh
grin,
my
just smile
God.
like he's
He
like,
walked into
I
work
knew.
today.
Oh my gosh.
He walked into work today with his nuts hanging.
Yeah,
Oh
and he's
my
like, he goes,
gosh.
that's what we do. I fucking know ball. I talk ball. I know what I'm talking about.
He may be Dr. Ball.
Might be Dr. Ball. He might be Dr. Ball's doctor.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's Dr. Ball.
Everyone's got every doctor.
Every
has a
doctor has to have a doctor.
He's chief surgeon.
Ooh.
That's good. That's good, dude.
Chief surgeon.
Chief surgeon. That's good.
That's actually
the surgeon.
Good
All right.
that was good. Full. All right. That
All right.
was the AL West champion episode.
One question to the Rangers, to the Texas Rangers, and I'm not hating, dude. I'm asking. They play tomorrow now against the Tampa Bay Rays.
Ooh.
They play tomorrow.
Woo.
Short rest. Got to get out there. Got to get out there in Tampa. Fly across the country. Was it worth it? Was it worth it celebrating on Saturday?
Was it worth it for that?
Was
champagne?
it worth it? I mean, just hold off one night.
Yeah.
Hold off
Score
one
two-
day.
Score 2 runs.
It is kind of.
You're a
baseball.
problem. You're a real
Real
problem.
problem.
You couldn't
Dude.
wait one day to get breaking that
I'm
case
glad.
of beer.
I'm glad.
I mean, I'm glad too, but
It is kind of poetic that they have to travel to Tampa.
Yeah.
They have
night-
to travel
after-
from Seattle to Tampa. They have to travel
But in-
across the country.
And it's been said every year that the Rangers did not switch home and homes after Harvey happened in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And that meant the Astros had to go to Tampa Bay to
Mhm.
play.
now
And
they
now-
we had to go to Tampa Bay to play a crucial series for our season.
All of a sudden, hell or high water comes around, and the Rangers got to go to Tampa
Yep.
to play a crucial
And
series.
Have
They're
fun with
gonna
Glass now, dude.
Get their ass swept.
Yeah, have fun with Glass now tomorrow, dude. Fucking, he's ready. He's just like, I'm about to start
Is
game
he
one.
pitching?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
locked in. I saw on ESPN he's the pitching probable for
Oh
Tampa.
my goodness.
They don't.
What,
Texas,
has
Texas
it-
doesn't even have
hasn't
one.
thrown since
I feel
like.
like he hasn't thrown. It's gonna be a good season. It's gonna be a good series. I can't wait.
Wow. Well, that's gonna do it.
That's gonna be it for the AL West Champion episode.
Yep.
That was brought to you by Celebrity Mint. Go follow them on Instagram at Celebrity Mint. It is brought to you by Zing Zang, Bloody Mary, spicy, Bloody Mary.
Brought to you
Ready?
by Big City Wings.
Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint.
Go watch some wild card games there.
Go watch some wild card games there. And boys, step one
Step one.
done.
Step one's
Done,
done, man.
Going 1-0.
11 more to go.
New season begins this Saturday.
Yep.
Why not us? Tic tac toe, 11 in a row.
Why not us?
Oh, okay. All right.
Peace.
Love you guys.
Watch Astros.